So in order to go backwards and take the square root or the cube root, you have to know your squares. So if we write those down, 1 squared or 1 times 1 is 1, 2 squared or 2 times 2 is 4, 3 squared or 3 times 3 is 9, 4 squared or 4 times 4 is 16, 5 squared is 25, 6 squared is 36, 7 squared is 49, 8 squared is 64, and 9 squared is 81, 10 squared is 100. Looking at the cube, what we're looking at here is 1 cubed. The 3 dimensions are 1 by 1 by 1, which is 1. 2 cubed, which is 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2 is 8. 3 cubed is 3 times 3, which is 9, 9 times 3, which is 27. 4 cubed, and you can see these grow much faster than the squareds. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. And we'll take it one more. 5 squared is 5 times 5 times 5. Well, 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5. If I have 5 25s or 5 quarters, I have 125. So you have to keep aware of those numbers. So when I'm looking at the square root of 16, we're going backwards and saying that that was 4. The base of that square was 4. The square root of 81 going backwards is 9, because again we have a square root and 9 squared. Essentially the square root is an undoing of a power of 2. A cube root is the undoing of a power of 3. So again we're undoing that power of 2, and so when those powers of 2 undo each other, I get a single x. Here when I have 9x squared, I'm really essentially looking at the 9 times the x squared separately. The square root of 9 is 3. A square and a square root cancel each other, and I'm just left with 3x. Here I'm looking at 3 factors. I'm looking at the 36, the x squared, and the y squared. The square root of 36 is 6. The square root of x squared, again, those will undo or reduce, and likewise with the y. So it's 6xy. Now, this little number there says I have a cube root. The index changed slightly, so now I'm looking in my cube column, and the cube root of 8 is 2. The cube root of 1 is 1. When I looked at these separately, the cube root of 8, separately from x cubed, we know the cube root of 8 is 2. The 3 index and the power, the cube, reduce and make a 1. Cube root of 64 is 4. Again, the cube root on this x, they reduce, and on the y, they reduce as well. The square root of 100 is 10. The square root of 9 is 3. So fractions work the same way. And again, the square root of 9 is 3, and the square root of 64 is 8.